Hey there, and welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Ivy Hartman, and joining me in the studio now is Ann Fisher-Jackson from the Lupus Foundation of America, the Heartland chapter, which is right here in St. Louis. Tell me, Ann, you reminded me off camera that the Lupus Foundation actually was started here in St. Louis.
It was. Both our local chapter and the national office was begun here in a man by the name of Roger Sturdivant's basement. And they started with support groups, and now our national office is in D.C., and we have some regional offices throughout the country, but chapters in most places.
So what does the chapter do here in St. Louis?
Here in St. Louis, we do a number of support initiatives. We have support groups, we have telephone support, we have an education conference. We also do public awareness and contribute to our National Research Fund.
Public awareness, that would be coming on STL TV.
Just like coming on STL TV.
And telling us what lupus is, because I think that there are maybe many of us who might know somebody who has lupus, but don't really understand what it is.
Absolutely. Lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease where any tissue in your body can be affected. So your immune system turns on and starts attacking healthy tissue. And basically everybody knows somebody that has lupus. Lupus affects 1 in every 185 people.
Wow.
And so chances are you're going to know somebody that has lupus. It's diagnosed every half an hour. And so more and more people are finding out that they suffer from this disease. And as I said, it can affect any tissue. So your skin, your heart, your kidneys, but a lot of times it's hidden. So you might not even know that you know somebody.
So by autoimmune, you mean that rather than attacking sick cells, or in addition to attacking some kind of virus or illness,
Right.
your immune system starts attacking different parts of your body.
Yes, absolutely. So there are a lot of theories about what causes lupus. Most people believe it's a combination of biology and environment. And so some of us are genetically predisposed for this disease, and then something in our environment, whether it be stress or hormones or any number of things, causes the disease to become active. And most times what happens is somebody would get like the flu, and your immune system would start attacking that and just never turn off. And so then it starts attacking healthy tissue.
So it affects everyone differently.
Absolutely. Everybody is affected completely different. There are no two cases of lupus that are the same. And so I have lupus, and it affects both my nervous system and my heart. But there are people that it affects their skin. Like I said before, their kidneys is a fairly common problem. And so it can affect you in a lot of ways.
How does that impact your daily life?
It impacts my daily life in a million ways. My life has not been the same since I got sick. There's nothing about it that is the same. However, I'm lucky in that I can still work every day, and I can still do my day-to-day things and have a social life and all of those things that we all take for granted. There are a number of lupus patients that aren't that lucky. A number of lupus patients that need to go on disability, or that do have their social lives completely affected, that are so tired that they can't get out of bed. And so there are a number of problems. I'm just extremely lucky in that sense.
Yeah, so what are the treatments like for lupus patients?
The treatments are beyond lacking. Just this year was the first drug ever specifically designed for lupus. It was approved by the FDA this year. It's called Benlysta, but it's not perfect. Lupus disproportionately affects women of color, and Benlysta hasn't shown its true efficacy in all areas, and it doesn't work for everybody. So what we need are an arsenal of treatments to treat, because lupus affects everyone differently. We need an arsenal of treatments to choose from to treat everyone differently. Right now, most of the treatments for lupus were developed for some other disease and then approved to use for lupus. So what has worked the best on me was I did a year of chemotherapy, which obviously wasn't developed for lupus, but did work for me, and that's sort of what we're doing.
And in terms of that treatment, does it put you in a remission-like state? Is that what
Essentially,
that is?
that's the goal. I have yet to achieve that state, but that is the goal with all treatments, is to control your symptoms, and then if your lupus is very serious, to try to get it into some kind of remission.
Now, let's back up for just a minute. We need to talk about how do you know if you think you might have lupus? How are you diagnosed?
There's no set way to diagnosis. There's no, take this test, do this thing, and now we know you have lupus. There are a number of categories or areas that could indicate you have lupus. Symptoms. There's about a list of about 11.
Perfect. you know what? I want to make sure that we hit that list of 11 when we come back, so that in case some of our viewers out there are looking and wondering, A, could I have lupus, or maybe someone I know could have lupus. And the great news is Anne's with us, not only to share her story, but she's here to tell us about some really super fun events about how you can get involved and help raise funds over the next couple of months and help out the Lupus Foundation of America right here in St. Louis. Now, you can also keep up with STL TV and all kinds of other events going on around St. Louis by friending us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, subscribing to our YouTube channel. By the way, this will be posted on YouTube. Tell everybody. And you can always watch us streaming live on stltv.net. We'll be right back in just a few with Ann right after this. And welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Ivy Hartman, and we've been visiting with Ann Fisher-Jackson from the Lupus Foundation of America, which is the Heartland chapter right here in St. Louis. And we were talking a little bit before the break about how do you know if you have lupus, how is it diagnosed? Will you tell us a little bit more about that?
So there are these 11 symptoms that doctors generally look for, and about 11, that's sort of give and take depending on who you are or what doctor you're seeing. And the most common one is positive anti-DNA or ANA. And doctors will do that with a blood test, and if you have a positive ANA, 97% of lupus patients do. And so just because you don't doesn't mean you don't have lupus, but it's very, very common, and that's generally the first thing doctors look for. A lot of fatigue is a big sign of lupus. There's also this thing called a lupus headache, which is similar to a migraine, but a little bit different, and doctors will know when you describe it to them. So there are a number of things that they're looking for, and generally they say if you have 4 out of this list, they feel pretty comfortable going ahead and diagnosing you with lupus. But sometimes somebody will just have one symptom really strongly. You know, they'll have a butterfly rash and maybe nothing else, but it's very evident about what it is. And doctors will feel comfortable going ahead and diagnosing. So it's just a conversation to have with a doctor, and we recommend that if you aren't comfortable with your doctor, to definitely get a second opinion, because some of it is a little bit subjective.
That's a good advice. And here in St. Louis, we're very blessed with a lot of great medical resources. So if you'd like to help the Lupus Foundation of America, the Heartland chapter, we've got some great events coming up in October and November that Ann's going to fill us in on. Now, we've got the Walk for Lupus Now.
Yes. The Walk for Lupus Now is our signature event. Every chapter does a walk, and our national office does a few themselves. It is such an exciting event because it's one that lupus patients can really take part in. I think that walks or runs can be intimidating for those that are sick, but ours is in the evening because a lot of lupus patients are photosensitive, and so we start at about 4, and we just have one track that's a mile and one that's 3 miles. So it makes it a very manageable course, and it's such a fun event. We have music, Hot 104.1 and Foxy 95.5 will be there playing music and DJing, and it's a fun event for everybody.
And a great setting, Carondelet Park. It's awesome.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We used to have it in Clayton, and we moved it to Carondelet a few years ago, and the park is beautiful and big, and we go by the boathouse, and it's a wonderful event.
Perfect. So that's October 1st. So mark your calendar, and if you want to take part in Walk for Lupus Now, you can register the day of the event.
Yes.
You can also get more information at lfaheartland.org or call 800-9-LUPUS-6. Well, that's the Walk for Lupus Now.
Yes.
Then you can kick off those high heels.
Definitely.
And go to prom, I guess, or a ball,
It's essentially prom with tennis shoes. This year we started our first ever gala. We're calling it the Tennis Shoe Ball. We do that because a lot of lupus patients have issues with their joints and can't wear high heels or dress shoes.
I think that appeals to any of us, first of all.
That's what everyone in the office has said, to be able to go and dance without high heels. So this year we started the Tennis Shoe Ball. It's going to be held at the Lumen, and that's essentially, it is black tie, but everybody will be there wearing tennis shoes. We have an honorary chair, Sandra Moore, who is the president of Urban Strategies, and McCormick Barron Salazar and Urban Strategies are the title sponsor for both the Walk for Lupus Now and the Tennis Shoe Ball.
Awesome. Tennis Shoe Ball at Lumen. So kick off those high heel shoes. Leave them behind. That's taking place on Saturday, November 12th at Lumen. What a great event. and a great venue to have that. And also, more information is also found online at the Lupus Foundation of America's website, lfaheartland.org, or you can call the number on your screen also for more information. So they get tickets through your guys' website.
You
and
go
through
through
you guys.
you go through the website or call us, and we can get it all set up.
And so the event itself is really kind of fun because you're going to have a band for
Yep.
dancing. You've got food. You get to dress up.
Oh yes, it's going to be a wonderful event. We're all so excited about it. The community is already turning out. We've already sold over 11 tables, and so we are already gearing up and ready to go for the event. We haven't even sent out the invites
And
yet.
it's your first year doing it?
And it's our first year doing it. It's going to be a fabulous event.
I really think that you've picked the right theme to go with.
Absolutely.
Too, and it really serves
Who
a
doesn't want to
purpose.
wear tennis shoes?
Yes, absolutely. Out and have a great evening. And we've really learned a lot about lupus in terms of how it affects everyone and how we can pitch in and help in with the Lupus Foundation of America, the Heartland chapter.
Yes.
And I want to thank you for joining us. Now, if you want more that information one more time, it's lfaheartland.org or 800-9-LUPUS-6. Good luck with the fundraiser. We're really excited about that. Now, you can keep up with all kinds of events going on around St. Louis and everything that STL TV is covering by friending us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Now, I don't know if you knew this, Ann, but we also stream all of our programming live right through our website. So as long as you time it right and you're logged on to stltv.net, you can actually see this.
Perfect.
Otherwise, just go to YouTube and you can get it on demand. Coming up next, we've got a whole bunch of great events to tell you about that's going on right here in St. Louis. We'll be right back.